Hey guys, you're welcome back to my channel. Today, thank you so much for stopping by. In this video, we'll be drafting out this very simple off-shoulder princess dart bustier. If you're interested, keep on watching and let's get started. I'll start by drawing out my guideline. So I went down by 1 inch from the start of this pattern paper, and I'm going to rule a straight line across. From that point, I'll start taking my measurement. So this is an off-shoulder blouse. So for me, I'll be taking out 5 inches before I start placing my point. That is how deep I want the opening. That is the chest area of my blouse to be open. First point I'll take is the distance from my shoulder to my bust point, which is 10 inches. The next point is the distance from my shoulder to my under bust point, which is 13 inches. And the last point is my waist point, which is also going to serve as my half length. My waistline is 16 inches. I added 1 inch to it, making it 17 inches, because I'll be needing that 1 inch to join the peplum to the upper bodice. Next thing I did was to take half of my shoulder measurement minus 1.5 inches, because I want the chest area to be firm. So I reduced 1.5 inches from half of my shoulder measurement. Instead of placing 8 inches, I placed 6.5 inches. At that same point, I went down by 8 inches, which is half of my round armhole measurement. Okay, and I indicated that with a dot. The next thing I'll do is to connect the 2 dots into a straight line. So take note that you take out the 5 inches or whatever inches you want to take out before you place all these measurements. If you noticed, I took out the 5 inches before I placed half of my round armhole measurements. Okay, so I'm going to label my lines. I have the chest line, the bust line, the under bust line, and the waist line. The next thing I'm going to do is to place my tape on the chest line, and I'm going to place my bust circumference divided by 4. I'll indicate that with a dot. After doing that, I'll use the curved part of my ruler to connect from the guideline to meet the measurement that I have on the chest line, as you can see. So I've created my armhole depth. So the next thing I'll do is to take my bust span measurement, which is half of my nipple to nipple measurement. Mine is 4 inches. I'll place my tape on the center front, and I'll take 4 inches on the waistline, 4 inches on the under bust line, 4 inches on the bust line, and I'm going to connect the 3 dots into a straight line. So guys, next thing I'll do is to take in my darts. So I'll be taking my darts towards the side front. That is the part of this pattern paper that has the armhole. I'm not taking anything on the center front. So I'm going to place my tape like this, and I'll go out by 2 inches on the waistline. I'll repeat the same thing on the under bust line. I'll go out by 2 inches from the dart leg, and then I'm going to connect the 2 dots into a straight line. After doing that, I'm going to place my tape on the bust line. Okay, you can see that this straight line did not get to the bust line. I'll place my tape on that straight line that I have on the bust line, and I'll go down by half an inch. I'll indicate the half an inch with a dot. The next thing I'll do is to use the curved part of my ruler to connect from the under bust line to meet the half an inch mark, just like you see me doing. After doing that, guys, this is what I have. The next thing I'll do is to measure around this curve, this armhole curve. Okay, so make sure you measure around it well, and whatever you have, you are going to either divide it into 2 equal halves or take out 2 or 3 inches. What I had was 4.5 inches. I'm just going to take 2 inches. It depends on how deep you want, but I feel like 2 inches is okay for me, or 3 inches. So I took out 2 inches and I marked the 2 inches. Next thing I'll do is to connect from that 2 inches to meet the bust line, as you can see. So I'm using the curved part of my ruler. In case you don't have a curved ruler, you can go ahead and use your free hand to achieve this, but make sure whatever you get is not too sharp. After connecting, this is what I have. I'm going to tighten this part, so I'll take out half an inch on both sides of that straight line. As you can see, I marked half an inch on both sides, so I'm using 1 inch for the darts. I'm going to now connect from that point. As you can see, I'll connect into the curve like this. In case you don't understand what I'm saying, just follow what I'm doing, okay? So I'm going to connect. After connecting this part, I'll go ahead and also connect the other part like this. So I've taken in my side darts. So guys, in order not to run short of fabric after taking your darts when sewing, I'm going to now replace this 1 inch. So whatever you took out for the darts, go ahead and replace it. So by the time you are done sewing, you're not going to run short of fabric. Everything is going to align. So what I had for my dart was 1 inch, so I'll go out by 1 inch, as you can see, and I'll straighten the line, okay, to meet the 1 inch like this. After doing that, this is going to serve as our new armhole. We'll not be using the other one again. So since I already have my bust circumference divided by 4 on the chest line, I'm going to go ahead and add my stitching allowance, which is 2 inches, and then I'll connect from this extension to meet that line. So this is going to be my new armhole for the blouse. I hope you guys are not confused. Okay, so this is going to be my new armhole. I'll connect like this. So guys, next thing is to determine the type of neckline that you want. As you can see on the thumbnail, what we have there is a sweetheart neckline. So I went down by 2 inches from the center front because I don't want the sweetheart neckline to be too deep. Okay, so it depends on what you want. I'll connect from that point to meet the armhole area in a slant. So that is all for the neckline. Since I already have my bust circumference divided by 4 plus my stitching allowance on the chest line, so on the under bust line, I'll place my under bust circumference divided by 4. I'll replace the dart of 2 inches and I'll add 2 inches for my stitching allowance. On the waistline, I'll place my waist circumference divided by 4. I'll replace the dart and I'll add my stitching allowance. After doing that, I'll connect the dots together. Guys, that is all for this front pattern. I'm just going to go ahead and cut, so pay close attention so you know where to cut. After cutting, guys, this is what I have for the front. So I have my side front and my center front. I'm just going to go ahead and label. So when cutting on your fabric, make sure that your center front is on fold, and you'll be needing 2 pieces for the side front. Okay, center front is on fold is very important. So we're going to go over and draft out the back. For the back, guys, I already have my pattern paper. What I'm going to do is to take out my zipper allowance of 1.5 inches. So I'm going to place my tape like this. I'll mark 1.5 inches and I'll connect into a straight line. This is going to serve as my zipper allowance line. After doing that, I'm going to mark the points that I'll be needing for this back. So we don't need the under bust line for the back. All we need is the chest line, the bust line, and the waistline. So still taking out the 5 inches just like I did for the front, I'm going to place my tape like this and I'll go down by 10 inches, which is the distance from my shoulder to my bust point, and I'll mark my half length, which is also my waistline. I took out 17 inches for the front and I'm doing the same thing for the back. So I'm going to connect my lines like this. After doing that, I'll trim off the excess on the base. So the next thing I'll do is to take half of my shoulder measurement minus 1.5 inches, just like I did for the front. Okay, this is to tighten the chest line. Next thing I'll do is to take out the 5 inches and I'll go down by half of my round armhole measurement, which is 8 inches. I'll make sure I have the same 8 inches on this line. As you can see, I will indicate that with a dot. After doing that, I'll connect the two dots into a straight line. After connecting, I'm going to rule a straight line across. So this line is going to serve as my chest line. On the chest line, I'm going to place my bust circumference divided by 4. I'll indicate that with a dot. After doing that, I'll use the curve part of my ruler to connect from the shoulder line to meet the point that I have on the chest line. So I've created my armhole line. The next thing I'll do is to measure around the curve just like I did for the front, and I'm going to go down by 2 inches. So I'm repeating the same thing that I did for the front. What I have here is 4.5 inches, so I'll go down by 2 inches and I'll indicate the 2 inches with a dot. The next thing I'm going to do is to take half of my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches. I'll take the measurement on the bust line, and I'll take the same measurement on the waistline. After doing that, I'll connect the two dots into a straight line. The next thing I'll do is to take in my dart. So I'll take half an inch on both sides of this straight line, and on the bust line I'm going to go down by 1 inch. I'll indicate the 1 inch with a dot. After doing that, I'll connect from the waistline to meet the 1 inch on both sides of this straight line. After taking in my darts, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to use the curved part of my ruler to connect from the center of the armhole, that part that I marked, not the center, the dot that I have on the armhole, to meet the dart leg, to meet my dart leg like this. You can decide to do the normal back where you don't have to cut out a princess dart bustier, but this is what I want to do for the back. Okay, you can just take out your darts, place your measurement and cut it out. You don't have to do this particular one. Okay, so make sure that what you are connecting is not too deep. As you can see, mine is a little bit sharp, so I'm just going to connect it back because this is just the back. It's not supposed to have that curvy effect that the front has. Okay, this is just a dart for the back, so I'm not going to take out any dart on the armhole area. We're just going to leave the back like this. So what I'll do is to add my stitching allowance of 2 inches on the chest line because I already have my bust circumference divided by 4 there. The next thing I'll do on the waistline is to take my waist circumference divided by 4. I'll replace the dart of 1 inch and I'll add 2 inches for my stitching allowance. After doing that, I'm going to connect from the chest line to meet the waistline like this. So you're also going to determine how deep you want the neckline to be. You can decide to leave it straight and you can decide to make it into a curve. So I went down by 1 inch because I don't want it to be straight, and I'll use this part of my ruler to create like a U neckline. Okay, after doing that, this is what I have. The last thing I'll do is to adjust the zipper area. So I have 1.5 inches as my zipper allowance. I'll take out half an inch to avoid zip bulge. I'll now connect from this half an inch that I took out to meet the shoulder area, as you can see. After connecting, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut. That is all for the back pattern, so pay close attention so you know where to cut. After cutting, guys, this is what I have for the back. I'm going to label my zipper, the center back and the side back. Okay, so you are going to be cutting two pieces for the back each minus the lining. Okay, so this is what I have for the front, sorry, the back. I also bring in the front. This is what I have for the front, guys. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Don't forget to like this video, leave your questions in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.